This is Darisha Bailey Vaught, a 17-year-old from Rochester, Minnesota. What happened next would change these young lives forever and shake this small community to its core. It all started at 1:20 a.m. on Sunday, July 16th, at Lakeside Veterans Memorial Park in Forest Lake. What began as tension between two groups of young people boiled over into a violent confrontation. Witnesses say both sides were armed, some with baseball bats, hammers, and a crowbar. Prosecutors say 20-year-old...
Ding! Dang, look at him. They coming out. And look at him. He took off running, and then the other guy called the last.
into a violent confrontation.
Look at him.
Witnesses say both sides were armed,
He got
some
a hammer.
with baseball bats, hammers, and a crowbar. Prosecutors say 20-year-old Dylan Simmons was playing hacky sack with friends at the park that night when he sent a text message to Devin Bailey Vaught telling him to come to the park to fight. A conflict between Simmons and Vaught and their respective friend groups had been brewing for about 2 years. Through records requests and extensive research, Midwest Crime has obtained exclusive footage of the incident. For the first time outside of court, here's the full story.
Okay.
Vaught arrived in a vehicle, while Simmons and a passenger exited his vehicle wielding hammers. Vaught and his friend were also armed with a baseball bat and a folding knife.
Jeez.
A witness would later tell jurors, both sides up to this point were in the wrong. As the fight starts to wind down, Simmons and a friend head back to his car, a white Mazda. Simmons drives toward the crowd, narrowly missing the group standing just inches away. He crashes into the rear of Vaught's vehicle, nearly running over someone's foot and brushing against someone else's leg.
Jesus.
Simmons backs up and accelerates again, this time hitting Vaught's sister, 17-year-old Darisha, driving over her with both front and rear tires before speeding away. Now, for the first time, we bring this exclusive footage to the public from 3 perspectives.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Where are you shot?
I got them on camera!
You gotta go, bro. You gotta go.
Moments later, police and paramedics arrive. They rush to provide emergency medical aid to Darisha as she lies in the parking lot.
Course like 3434, the RP is not with the group, it's only seeing it from a distance. Female is not breathing, RP didn't see what direction the vehicle left, it's only focused on the person.
Copy.
34 copy, just looking for me, got him health and...
And see, this is the problem, man. See, like I said, they were so busy trying to beef and trying to have issues with the lads from up the lane, and now look at it. Now the sister, woman. See, first of all, women not even supposed to be involved in none of this type of shenanigans. But then now she done got ran over. They done ran her up. Boo 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 boo. I'm like, man, it's not working.
Copy, we have them in route.
It's not working.
Force like 3434, CPR in progress.
No, please. Oh, please.
Stay with me.
Here, I'm gonna switch out with you, okay?
Despite their efforts, she had multiple fractures and a traumatic head injury.
Jesus.
Darisha died at the scene shortly after rescue crews arrived. A medical examiner later ruled her death was a homicide. Simmons and his passenger quickly drove away, but they didn't get far. The passenger called someone still at the scene who was speaking with an officer. They convinced Simmons to return back to the scene. Simmons eventually drove back and turned himself in, and admitted to officers that he knew he'd struck the victim. This surveillance camera video gave prosecutors the evidence they needed to upgrade Simmons' charges to second-degree murder, with 3 counts of second-degree assault added to the case.
A family in Forest Lake is grieving the loss of a 17-year-old girl.
Police say that someone intentionally hit and killed her during a fight at a park this weekend. 20-year-old Dylan Simmons appeared in court for the first time today after Washington County prosecutors charged him with third-degree murder and vehicular homicide.
Simmons's trial started in December 2024.
Now look at him, because like I said, the lads from up the lane want to beef. Sitting there, man. People are crazy, man. Like, what? They showed up with hammers and crowbars and baseball bats, like we in some kind of 80s or 90s movie. Like, what is going on? Now you upset. I mean, you know, if that had been some ninjas, it would have been a lot of shooting.
But it wasn't long before tensions turned the quiet courthouse into chaos. Two families, one seeking justice, the other claiming innocence. During the first day of the trial, both sides shouted at each other outside the courtroom and a hole was punched in the wall.
Jesus.
With the fighting continuing over lunch at a Carboni's Pizza near the courthouse.
I just want him to pay for his crime. Like, he's admitting that he hit her, but he's not admitting that he did it on purpose.
He's right, despite prosecutors saying Dylan Simmons intentionally tried to hit people with his car, killing Bailey Vath. Simmons' mother is speaking out for the first time, saying her son is a good kid and did not.
Nah, ain't none of them good kids, and I hate when parents try to do that. At the end of the day, we don't gotta keep go through this whole thing. At the end of the day, it's just this simple. It's just this simple. When you play stupid games, you get stupid results. If the girl hadn't never been there, if none of them had never showed up to fight in some kind of, you know what I'm saying, little rascal kerfuffle, if they had never been on like, let's just call it, it's just extended Pookie behavior. If they had never been engaging in that type of degeneracy, then guess what? The girl will probably still be alive. The girl will still be alive. What you think is going to happen if you hit somebody in the head with a hammer? What you think going to happen when you hit somebody in the head with a crowbar? You hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat. You drive through a crowd of people. What did you think was going to happen? What did you I can't fathom any other outcome than somebody going to the hospital with life-threatening injuries or somebody being unalived. Make that make sense to me. I don't know. I can't see it. I cannot picture any other outcome. That's just me though.